Hello there. Welcome back for part 2 of our lesson where we are looking at the effect of changing repayment amounts in reducing balance loans. So traditionally reducing balance loans are used particularly in home loans, and if you're going along in your home loan and all of a sudden you can change the repayment amounts, all sorts of interesting things can happen. You can save a lot of money on interest, you can pay it off faster. There's all sorts of interesting effects if you have the flexibility to change to pay off more. So these make very interesting real life scenarios, and this second half of the video is going to look at one big example of changing repayment amounts midway through a loan. It's quite involved, and yes, it's going to be a little bit potentially challenging today, but it's all lots of fun. So our scenario we're working with is this one here. Amber borrowed $73,000 to fix a termite infestation at her house with terms of 8 years at 5.4% per annum with monthly repayments of $938.14. 3 years into the loan, Amber realised that she could afford payments of $1,200 instead. She's had a good pay rise, got a better job, other expenses have decreased, life's looking good, she can pay more. This can happen. It can happen. So find the actual term of the loan. So this is where things get really interesting. We need to look at, it's 3 years into the loan that Amber was looking at changing things. So we need to look at first 3 years, and then we need to look at the remainder of the loan. We need to look at what happened in those first 3 years, because after those first 3 years, Amber isn't going to owe $73,000 anymore. We don't know how much Amber actually owes at the point where she wants to change the repayments. We're going to need to know that before we can do the calculations. So we need to know how much Amber owes after the 3 years. Now, I'm just going to nick something from a previous lesson here so I don't have to keep rewriting stuff. I know that's terribly unprofessional. Right, so the amount Amber borrowed, the principal is $73,000. The repayments are given to us. Remember in this online calculator that repayments need to be a negative amount. The value after 3 years is what we want here. We don't know. We're actually after the future value here. The future value will tell us how much Amber owes after 3 years if we set it up properly. The interest rate was 5.4%, and we wanted to know the value after 3 years, and it's all done monthly here. Remember, we are working in months. It's all months in the question, right? After 3 years, how many months is that? I'm hoping you will pick up that we can multiply by 12, and that will give us the number of months. So it'll be 36 months. Right, that's essentially what we need to put in the machine. We have the principal, we have the repayment amount as a negative. We want to know how much is owed. The interest rate's 5.4%. It's 36 time periods because there's 36 months in 3 years. I'm putting that into the machine. So negative 938.14 cents. We want to know that, so I don't put anything there. 5.4%, 36, and it's already on monthly, so that's great. Press FV, and Amber will be owing $49,233.12 owed after 3 years. So to find how long this loan is actually going to last for now, because she's going to be paying it off faster, so it's not going to be 8 years anymore. It's going to be less than that. We don't know how much less it's going to be, but she's paying it off faster. Let's now look at what happens from here. So for the remainder of the loan, when she starts paying off more, she owes $49,233.12 when she increased the repayment. The repayment is being increased to $1,200, right? That's her new repayment amount. We can assume that the interest rate's still the same. We want to know how long it takes to pay off. When a loan is paid off, remember the future value is 0, right? At the end of a loan, nothing is owed. So your future value is 0. And we want to know the number of time periods because that's what's happening here. We know that it's going to be paid off sooner. We just don't know how much sooner. So that's the situation. For the remainder of the loan, that's the amount she owes. That's what the new repayment is. We want to know when it's down to 0, when she'll owe nothing. Interest rate's still 5.4%. That's going to n is the number of time periods, which is the whole purpose of this question. So let's put that into the machine. I'll reset it so you can see it from the start. I put in the principal value. I put in the repayment amount. I put in I need to make that negative. That would have caused an issue. You're giving away the money. It's negative. It's money going away. Annual rate of 5.4. We want to know time periods. It is monthly, so we leave it at monthly. I click time periods, and it's going to give me something weird. I deliberately made this so it'd be a bit messier. 45.46 months to repay the loan. And that's after the original 3 years. So 3 years is 36 months. So if I add the 36 months, because we're already at 3 years, so the total time to pay off the loan will be that 36 months plus there's 45 months from now to pay it off. So if I go 36, I add that 36 to the 45 there. It would give me 81.46 months. Now, you're probably going to want that as years. By the way, what we can do there is, you see, because it's more than 81 months, to actually pay that off, you would say 82 months. You round it up because it won't be completely paid at 81 months. So, but it will definitely be more than paid off in 82 months. Right? So generally you'd want that in years though. So you'd be thinking, oh, hang on, what's that in years? How do I turn months into years? We divide by 12. So 82 divided by 12. It's, well, actually, look, how many 12s are in 82? If you did that normally, you go 6 12s. 6 12s are 72, which leaves you with 10 months left over if you wanted to convert that into years. All right, I did that by going 6 times 12 is 72. So it's 72 months is 6 years, and there'd be an extra 10 months to get to 82. So it's going to be about 6 years and 10 months to pay that off if you wanted to move it into years and months. I probably would accept a decimal, which would be 6.83 years. That's what you'll get if you put it directly in your calculator. But it's better to show it in years and months if you can. All right, total interest paid. That becomes a very interesting question. So we have to think, again, the first 3 years and the remainder of the loan separately. Now, for the first 3 years, I'll cut a little bit of the stuff out here. Remember that well, let's work out the total amount paid in the first 3 years. That's probably the most logical thing to do first. In the first 3 years, there were 36 repayments. Remember, 36 months in the 3 years, and for each repayment, it was $938.14. So in the first 3 years, there were 36 repayments of that amount. So that we put that in a calculator. The total amount paid, $938.14, and it will tell you that Amber paid, was Amber, wasn't it? That Amber paid $33,773.04 in those first 3 years. But you also then need to know, but hang on, how much was paid of the loan? Now, in this case, we need equation, right? The home loans, it was a loan to fix the house. The loan was originally $73,000, and after 3 years, the value of the loan was down to $49,233. So if we work out the difference between how much she owed at the start, she owed $73,000 at the start, that was the size of the loan, and we take away the $49,000 there, which is how much the loan was worth after the 3 years, we'll work out that she has paid off how much of the loan? She's paid off $23,766.88. Okay, so that's how much she actually knocked off the loan, and that's how much she paid. If you remember the principle that we had earlier in our lessons, which was you can work out the interest as being the amount you've actually paid, take away the principal. It's essentially the difference between these two values is going to be the amount of interest, right? You paid that amount, but you only removed that off the loan. It's about $10,000 that she's paid in interest. So 33,773 and 4 cents, subtract 23,766.88. So take away 33,773.04. You'll get, very close to $10,000 worth of interest in the first 3 years. So there, I'll just note, the whole point of that was just us working out the interest for the first 3 years. Get the idea this is a fairly involved question. The remainder of the loan we need to look at separately. The total amount paid for the remainder of the loan. This isn't going to be completely accurate because you've got kind of a half payment at the end, but let's not get too phased about that. For the remainder of the loan here, the repayments became $1,200, and there were 46 months worth of additional repayments to go. Remember how we worked out here how long the loan was going to last? And after the 3-year point, it was another 45.46 months to fully repay it. Round it up because it won't be fully paid at 45, but it will at 46. So I'm going to put 46 in here. That's about how much Amber is going to be paying until the end of this loan. It'll be very, very slightly less if you want to be technical. All right, that's the total amount. 46 payments at $1,200 for the remainder of the loan. And then we've got to work out, well, how much was paid off the loan is easier this time because for the remainder of the loan, she was paying off that amount that was left. Remember after 3 years that she owed $49,000? That's the amount she's paying off in the remainder of the loan. So that bit's a bit easier for the second half. All right, and from there, we can use that same principle we did before. Interest is the amount that she's paid, which was in this case $55,200. Subtract the amount that she actually owed. Right, so the interest is the difference between what she's paid and what she actually owed here. And so the interest will be, put that in a calculator. So we go 55,200, subtract 49,233.12, and you'll get 5,966.88. Now, remember, we calculated the interest for the first part of the loan and the second part of the loan. We need to add the interest for the first 3 years to the remainder of the interest to work out the total interest. So that was the interest for the first 3 years. And this was the interest for the remainder of the loan. So we need to put that together. So plus, so we go 10,006.16 plus 5966.88, and we're going to get a total interest of $15,973.04. Now that was a big operation, wasn't it? We had to find the interest paid in the first 3 years, then we had to find out the interest in the remaining part of the loan, and that's what you'll get. Now I'm not going to go any further with this lesson because I think that's full on enough for one lesson. Look over it carefully. Remember to send me questions. There's a fair amount of, you really have to logically pace through these things and think them out to get out these sort of questions.